The world is holding its breath. Tensions between Iran and Israel are rising fast. Missiles are being launched. Leaders are making threats. And people everywhere are asking the same question. Is this how World War III begins? This isn't just another news story. This could change everything. Because if this conflict spreads, it might pull in the whole world. Stay with me as we break down what's happening and what could happen next. To understand what's happening now, we need to look at the history that brought us here. The conflict between Iran and Israel didn't start overnight. It's decades in the making, rooted in politics, religion, and power. Since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, Iran has positioned itself against Israel, refusing to recognize its existence and supporting militant groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, both sworn enemies of the Israeli state. In response, Israel has acted, often in the shadows, targeting Iranian nuclear sites, military advisors in Syria, and supply routes to its proxy groups. One of the major turning points came in 2020, when the United States assassinated Qasem Soleimani, a top Iranian general, with quiet support from Israel. Then came the Abraham Accords, Arab nations like the UAE and Bahrain making peace with Israel, a move Iran saw as betrayal and a threat to its influence in the region. In the years since, there have been cyber attacks, secret airstrikes, assassinations, all part of a shadow war that's now bursting into the open. And today, with direct strikes and open threats, that long, cold conflict is starting to feel very, very hot. So, what just happened that has the world on edge? In recent weeks, the shadow war turned into open fire. Iran launched a direct missile and drone attack toward Israel, something that hasn't happened on this scale in decades. And Israel struck back hard, hitting targets deep inside Iran and its regional allies. This isn't just tit for tat anymore. It's a dangerous escalation. For the first time, the red lines are being crossed. Air defense systems are being tested. Civilians are sheltering underground. And for both sides, the rhetoric has changed. From strategic warnings to open threats of destruction. Leaders are speaking in absolute terms. No more ambiguity. No more diplomacy. And while the missiles fly, the region holds its breath, because every move now risks drawing in other powers. Hezbollah in Lebanon, U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria, Saudi Arabia watching closely, and world powers like Russia and China standing by, each with their own stakes in this conflict. This isn't just about Iran and Israel anymore. It's about who gets pulled in next, and how fast this can spiral beyond control. This isn't the first time there's been conflict in the Middle East. But this time, it feels different. Why? Because both Iran and Israel aren't just powerful. They're strategic. And this isn't a fight over borders. It's a fight over influence, ideology, and survival. Israel is a nuclear-armed nation with one of the most advanced militaries in the world. Iran, while not officially nuclear, has enriched uranium to levels that alarm global experts. If Iran crosses the threshold, we're not just talking missiles, we're talking mass destruction. But the danger goes far beyond just these two countries. Iran backs powerful militias across the region, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and armed groups in Iraq and Syria. If war breaks out, it won't stay contained. It could explode across the entire Middle East. And that means global powers would be forced to choose sides. The United States, is one of Israel's strongest allies. Russia and China have deep ties with Iran. One miscalculation, one accidental strike, one political decision made too quickly, and we could see a regional war spiral into something far bigger. This isn't just another military flare-up. It's a potential domino that could tip the entire world. It's the question, echoing across the internet, newsrooms, and dinner tables worldwide. Could this really become World War III? Let's be honest, not every conflict turns into a global war. But history tells us, world wars don't start all at once. They begin with sparks, small, specific, regional events that spiral out of control. Remember 1914, one assassination in Sarajevo. One alliance triggered another, and within weeks the world was at war. So what are the scenarios today? Scenario 1, a contained conflict. Iran and Israel strike each other, maybe even fiercely, but keep it within limits. World powers push for calm. It ends before it spreads. Scenario 2, a regional war. Iran activates its proxies. Hezbollah opens fire from Lebanon. Yemen's Houthis target Israeli ships. Israel retaliates. The US steps in, and suddenly, multiple countries are on the battlefield. Scenario 3, the worst case. A mistake, a misfire, a strike on the wrong target. Suddenly, a Russian or American base is hit. China responds. Global alliances are triggered, and the world moves toward total war. It might sound far-fetched, but the truth is, it's not impossible. In a world disconnected, with this many weapons, this much mistrust, and this little room for error, it only takes one wrong move. So, could this really be World War III? No one can say for sure. But the ingredients are there. And history has a habit of repeating itself when we refuse to learn from it. So, what do the experts think? Is this the start of something bigger, or just another dangerous flare-up? Many military analysts agree we're closer to a major regional war than at any point in recent decades. Retired generals and intelligence officials warn that the involvement of proxy groups and global alliances makes this conflict more unpredictable than ever. Former U.S. defense officials have called the Iran-Israel tensions a live wire surrounded by gasoline. One wrong move, and the region could explode. But not everyone believes full-scale war is inevitable. Some diplomats argue that neither Iran nor Israel wants total war. Why? Because the costs would be catastrophic, economically, militarily, and politically. Iran risks international isolation and internal unrest. Israel risks fighting on multiple fronts with no clear endgame. So, where do we go from here? That depends on the choices made in the coming days, not just by governments, but by all of us. Because this isn't just about Iran and Israel. It's about how